Good morning, everyone. We're glad that you are here. It's a pleasure to see you all this morning and to be part of our time this morning for our annual membership meeting. Um, I'm the Executive Director, Kara McFalls, and we're pleased to have you here in our 61st year of Head Start as we reflect back on 2025, the association successes and celebrations. 2025 was quite a year as I remember it. Today, we're also going to honor our dear Head Start friend and board member, um, Mike Shipman. And then we're also going to award the Unsung Hero Award Alumni Scholarship, all part of our celebrations today. So we welcome program members, we welcome our board directors, our friends, and our guests to our 2026 annual meeting. And we also thank our sponsor, the University of Pittsburgh School of Education, and their contribution to the 2026 Unsung Hero Award. And Dr. Gallen will be joining us later in our event. All right. Thank you for completing the poll. And let's see. Who are the members of our association? Well, we are honored that the more than 60 federally funded Head Start preschool and early Head Start programs in Pennsylvania as our members are part of and they come from agencies like community action programs, school districts, intermediate units, and the state and also a standalone agencies. Each staff member, administrator, and parent with a child enrolled in one of these programs is an association member. And why do we host our annual meeting? Well, we do it to make sure that we're introducing our board members to our membership, that we're reviewing our strategic direction, and we'll introduce our core values. We'll highlight the accomplishments of 2025 and we'll share the key initiatives that we have happening this year. We'll strengthen our connections to our work and with our members. And then this is also a requirement that is outlined in our association bylaws. So we're fulfilling all of those responsibilities. I welcome and introduce our board chair, Deirdre Vachier, to walk us through the next set of slides.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Kara. The mission of the association guides our work and our collective strategic efforts among our members and stakeholders. This year, the board developed core values, and from that work, we introduce our new mission statement. We are grounding and uniting our members, including staff, parents, community members, and coalition partners, to ensure the work of the association creates lasting impact for Head Start families and their children. And we are very lucky that PHSA is led by two truly amazing individuals. Kara McFall serves as the executive director, and under her leadership, the association has grown into a formidable presence at the local, state, and national level. Brandy Cool serves as the associate director and has created stellar professional development events, conferences, both live and virtual, that have provided content supporting Head Start and early Head Start programs across a wide range of topics. Both Kara and Brandy demonstrate their commitment to PHSA's membership through their focus on connection, collaboration, and impact. To learn more about Brandy and Kara, you can check them out on the PHSA website. And we hope that you do check out the PHSA website. Lots of great information there. We've had some changes on the board this year. We were pleased to welcome two new administrators, Jen Neely and Don Smith, along with parent Krishna Kathleen and a staff member, Kelsey Houchel, to the board in 2025. And additionally, we want to take a moment and thank our friend Rose Goya Fine for her enthusiasm and contributions. And we truly honor Beth White's 9 years of dedicated service. Beth even served as the board chair during her term with us. and her term concluded in 2025. So a shout out to Beth and to Rose for their dedication to the PHSA board. We are very grateful. When we think about our board and leadership and direction, our executive committee includes 4 positions fulfilled by Head Start administrators and friends on the board. Holly Straight serves as our vice president, Vincent McMullen as treasurer, and Lauren Allen as secretary. The board is made up of 4 categories, including staff, parents, administrators, and friends from all across the state of Pennsylvania. As board chair, I am truly grateful for the dedication and commitment of each board member and the time, talent, and treasure that they give to the board and to the association. Thank you so much for your volunteerism and all that you do for PHSA. And now Kara will highlight our regional and national affiliations.
Thank you, Deirdre. So, Pennsylvania Head Start Association programs have state, regional, and national support. And as the state association, we are the connector. The regional staff and parents so if we look on the left side here of the map, this is the regional map in which Pennsylvania contributes to the National Head Start Association's board. We're known on this map on the left as Region 3, being part of Region 3, and that includes West Virginia, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, and DC programs and their state association offices. I'll remind us that on April 1st of 2025, HHS closed 5 of the 10 regional offices that you see on the left to consolidate staff. And in May of 2025, the Office of Head Start announced an interim reassignment of those 22 states, 7 territories, and 467 tribal governments impacted by the closures. So now look at the middle picture, the map in the middle here, and that is the region that we're in now, according to the Office of Head Start, and we sit in the office of the Northeast region. But for purposes of NHSA, we are still in Region 3. NHSA is working through the process of their bylaws and with respect to new regions and board representation, and they expect to enact that in 2027. So at this time, NHSA board representation continues to be in the format of the 12 regions. And you'll see on the right a big shout out to Senator Sanders, who spoke last year at the Head Start Hill visits during the National Head Start Fall Leadership Institute. And I turn it back over to Deirdre to introduce our strategic plan.
Thank you, Kara. The Board of Directors convened in July of 2024 for our very first retreat to review surveys and data and to create a new strategic plan. We have identified 4 key areas of work, including shared values and engaged stakeholders, amplify workforce development and program management resources, build sustainability strategies and explore opportunities, and then finally advance advocacy work and increase meaningful presence. And I have to say, looking back, it is amazing how much the board has completed in just a year. And when I say board, I truly do also mean Kara and Brandy, the entire PHSA working group. Not just identifying core values by which we do our work, implementing an investment policy, strategically joining new coalitions and bringing new faces to the table, both of PHSA and putting PHSA at different tables, and facilitating 89 legislative conversations. That's a lot in a year. 89 touch points with our legislators to be able to advocate for Head Start, early Head Start, and Head Start State Supplemental. So kudos to the board and to PHSA leadership. And we've been talking about our core values. It was a process that really helped us to define who we are as an association and how we do our work. And I'm pleased to share them. First and foremost, we advocate for impact. Second, we lead with integrity and we are held accountable by our members. And finally, but not least importantly, probably most importantly, we are trustworthy collaborators and credible partners. And again, I just want to thank Kara and Brandy and the entire board walking through and creating not just strategic a plan, but also a new mission statement, and then adding core values to an organization is no easy feat. And I just think that everyone rallied together and came up with a set and a direction that will help to guide PHSA for the next few years as we move through this tumultuous time in our programs. So thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to highlight some of the 2025 engagement accomplishments. The association notes multiple accomplishments in 2025. Advocacy and visibility are key to our mission and service to our members. Connections among our membership are promoted in tangible and focused efforts. Program development and professional development are hallmarks of our work with and on behalf of our membership. Visibility, sustainability, and the ability to pivot keeps us nimble. I'd like to invite attendees to please take a quiet moment to read through and reflect on all that has been accomplished in 2025. Now, Kara will speak to some of the work that's coming up in 2026.
Thank you, Brandy. As we look to 2026, our priorities are rooted in listening to our members, strengthening leadership, and amplifying our collective voice across Pennsylvania and nationally. These goals are not just aspirations, they are actionable commitments. We are already advancing together. We have a full portfolio of work this year in service to our members, including a new collaborative partner, the PA Association for Infant Mental Health, with whom we hosted a 2026 spring conference, implementing the strategic plan, growing relationships, developing new products, and data collection. So as we looked at what our accomplishments were and what we're looking forward to in 2026, Brandy will now take us to the 2025 programs with our membership and what those specific activities look like.
Thanks, Kara. In review of our 2025 engagement and action accomplishments, for leadership and engagement, the Pennsylvania Head Start Association hosted 3 administrator and leaders meetings that included program-led panels, networking opportunities, and guest speakers. We continued our weekly leader network calls, holding 38 calls in total, and visited 13 programs across the state to stay connected with the work that's happening on the ground. The association also hosted, like Deidre said, 89 legislative visits in partnership with Head Start members, strengthening connections between programs and policymakers across Pennsylvania. In addition, we hosted our first annual virtual conference designed specifically for the early Head Start community. With 59 attendees, we are energized to continue growing this work and supporting the unique needs of early Head Start programs. For professional growth, the association facilitated 20 targeted professional development sessions throughout the year, including topics such as artificial intelligence, child development, fatherhood engagement, and recruitment. We also sustained 3 communities of practice supporting fiscal, family service, as well as health and nutrition professionals, and hosted 5 pilot programs focusing on areas such as language justice, staff burnout, and play strategies. These efforts reflect our ongoing commitment to showing up, staying connected, and building capacity across every level of leadership and support. As we continue through 2026, the Pennsylvania Head Start Association remains committed to creating meaningful opportunities for connection, learning, leadership, and advocacy across the state. This year, we hosted our 2026 statewide conference in March with great success, bringing together Head Start professionals, partners, and leaders for shared learning and connection. We now look ahead to our June 2026 virtual Early Head Start conference designed specifically to support the unique work of the Early Head Start community. We are also growing our communities of practice to include mental health and early Head Start professionals, bringing our monthly communities of practice opportunities to 5 areas of focus. These spaces continue to offer meaningful peer connection, shared problem solving, and professional growth for staff across roles. Throughout the year, the association will also highlight free resources on a monthly basis and offer responsive professional development guided by the results of the workforce survey. These opportunities are designed to reflect the needs of the field and support staff in practical, relevant, and timely ways. We continue to host administrator and leaders meetings, with 1 completed in February and 2 more planned for July and December. We also look forward to hosting our 4th annual Head Start Awareness Day at the Capitol, creating space to amplify the voices, experiences, and needs of Pennsylvania's Head Start community. Hopefully, we're going to be 89 legislative visits this year. These opportunities are building statewide relationships that Head Start staff continue to value and prioritize. We are proud to consistently offer spaces for connection, growth, and collective action. Thank you for being part of the action. We want to take a moment to also thank our 2025 partners and sponsors. With their support, we've been able to bring bold ideas, deep care, and practical tools to our Head Start community. Whether through professional development, family engagement, or on-the-ground resources, their commitment has helped move this work forward in meaningful ways. We're deeply grateful, and we're proud to partner with organizations who believe in the power of early childcare. I pass it back to Kara to speak to our Early Learning PA Coalition work.
Brandy, as you've heard, all of our advocacy work and our strategic work, the ways what we can serve is done in partnership with our members, along with state, national, and federal partners. What is our advocacy work? The association is a principal member of the Early Learning PA Coalition. This is the avenue for our state-level advocacy efforts in pre-K, home visiting, childcare, maternal and prenatal health care, along with early intervention. The association is the recipient of many grants for state advocacy deliverables and actions, including those legislative visits, all 89 of them, roundtables, visibility events, press conferences, and collaborations with campaign partners. And how does the advocacy work happen and with whom? As you've heard, it's in partnership and it's with our membership. And so we really appreciate, value, and respect how our members show up and trust us to be part of that work with them. All right, can you go to the next slide, please? As a principal partner of the Early Learning PA Coalition, the association is engaged in funding and policy advocacy for the 2 pre-K programs funded by the state, and that includes pre-K Counts and Head Start Supplemental. The governor's proposed budget for the fiscal year that begins July 1st, 2026, and fingers crossed, that's exactly the date that it's funded for. It includes an additional $7.5 million investment in the pre-K Counts program, along with $2 million for the Head Start Supplemental to help stabilize early learning providers by increasing the per child rates. This is an essential step towards addressing the rising costs and chronic staffing challenges driven by persistently low wages. Our portfolio of work with Early Learning PA also includes childcare in the Start Strong campaign, early intervention and birth to 3, and maternal health in the Thriving campaign, along with home visiting in the Childhood Begins at Home campaign. We advocate for the ecosystem of early childhood education and to further strengthen the childcare sector. We promote that we raise childcare subsidy income limits so that more working families can get in help paying for a childcare program that they trust. Dedicate funds to childcare and pre-K programs better serve children with special needs, and advance targeted reforms that reduce unnecessary burdens on childcare providers while preserving strong, enforceable health and safety standards that keep children safe. And the QR code on this screen takes you to the Head Start Voices Kudo board. And while they're always fun to read and they uplift me on a day that I need to be grounded in my work, I also encourage each of us to take a moment, check out the QR code, and find a moment to write your Head Start story and add it. Because your voice, whether you're a staff person or a parent or an alumni, or a board member, is all important to how we tell our stories here and the power of Head Start in each community. Federal advocacy. Sorry, let me get to the right page. Here we are. The fiscal year 2026 has been full of uncertainty, yet we saw a small increase for Head Start for the cost of living adjustment. Together for Head Start, a campaign, along with the National Head Start Association and national partners, are working with parents, programs, staff, and communities at the regional and state associations to further build and reinforce the prioritization of Head Start in the fiscal 27 federal budget. That fiscal 27 budget would begin October 1st of this year. Currently, in the president's proposed skinny budget, specific funding for programs has a budget justification that includes increasing teacher-child ratios to serve more children and handing the licensing and the monitoring of Head Start to individual states. We find this concerning. And so what we know is, with the power of our membership, we have education and advocacy conversations ahead of us, and we will rely on all of you to come to the table, participate, do the sign-ons, have the legislative visits, and help our legislators understand the power of Head Start as it exists. Let's take a minute now to access this QR code with your phone. This is a sign-on going to your congressperson along with our senators, Fetterman and McCormick, asking them to support and fund Head Start. So we'll literally give you a moment to just pull out your phone, go ahead, access that QR code, and this is a sign-on that goes right to, there you go. Thank you, Brandy, for pulling that up. Add your voice and lift up our work here in Head Start. And so it's a letter that is generated and it goes right to your particular congressperson and our two senators. Thank you, Brandy. So your voice really matters. On this slide, how can you advocate and educate for policymakers with our policymakers for the right policies? Learn about ways you can educate your representatives about Head Start. So over here on the left, advocacy training in that QR code, that's our friend Emma from Maternity Care Coalition, and she guides us through multiple strategies with calls to your representatives, sign-ons, emails, visits to share the message that you want to be heard, and gives you great tips and strategies. The QR code that is the square on the bottom is to find your state and federal legislators so that you can contact them directly. And then you can use the state budget sign-on QR code to send a message with thousands of others to members of our state General Assembly on childcare and pre-K and Head Start and early intervention. Our voices and our votes and our ability to contact our legislators is important. Advocacy, education includes welcoming your legislators to your program, attending their town halls, sharing agency social media posts, and add your name to sign-ons sent to your legislators, and so much more. So if you have a minute, you can do one thing. If you have 10 minutes, you can do a different kind of strategy. And we always encourage, and I know many, many of our program members invite their legislators to come and visit programs, because one of the things we know, when they see children and they see programs, they understand the power of Head Start and they meet the people, the families who are engaged and value the services of Head Start. Thank you. So we are good stewards of our membership dues and the other money that we do get in terms of mini grants. We have a financial strength and we take that stewardship with sincere responsibility. For the past 3 years, the association has closed the year with an operating income higher than originally budgeted. And this speaks to the care and conservative approach when we're budgeting our programs and our services for the year, and the ability of the staff and the oversight of our board to work within the budget and execute the programs, and the responsibility that we feel as good stewards of the funds entrusted to us. And next slide. As of 12/21/2025, when our budget year ended, the association held $486,000 in unrestricted cash, with $314,000 in low-risk investment vehicles, an additional $32,000 in restricted funds from grants for our early learning PA campaign work. We have consistently held cash reserves over $300,000 for 3 fiscal years in a row. And to best serve our members and protect our financial future, the board approved and implemented an investment policy, statement, and policy so that we responsibly invest cash reserves and protect us from growing inflation and financial uncertainty. Now, on the celebrations to which we recognize Head Start alumni and the power of Head Start early learning experience, we also take a moment to honor a dedicated board director who has been instrumental in strong board leadership of the association for 9 years. I invite Brandy to introduce our new Unsung Hero Award, and Dr. Gallen with the University of Pittsburgh School of Education, who is sponsoring the 2026 Unsung Hero Award. Welcome.
Thank you, Kara. I wanted to take a minute and highlight why Michael Shipman was chosen as the honoree of our Unsung Hero Award. Michael served 9 years on Pennsylvania Head Start Association Board of Directors, which is a full term, bringing thoughtful leadership, steady commitment, and a deep belief in the mission of Head Start. His ideas, presence, and dedication helped strengthen the association and supported programs across Pennsylvania. This award is one way we honor the time, passion, and leadership Michael has shared so generously, and the impact that will continue through the people and programs he has helped support. Excuse me. So excited, I got choked up. Today, we are proud to recognize Aubrey Engel as our 2026 Unsung Hero. Aubrey is a Head Start alum from the Child Development Inc. Head Start in Schuylkill County, and she is now pursuing criminal justice at Shippensburg University. What stood out about Aubrey is not just one accomplishment, but the consistency of who she is. She is described as kind, compassionate, dependable, and deeply committed to the people around her. She has shown excellence in the classroom, especially through her honors biology and anatomy work. She has also been actively involved in student leadership, clubs, and activities that support her school community. Beyond school, Aubrey works in a dietary aid care at a rehabilitation and nursing center, where she supports residents with compassion and responsibility. At home, she also helps care for her younger siblings and contributes meaningfully to her family. Aubrey represents exactly what the Unsung Hero Award was created to honor: quiet leadership, strong character, and the kind of impact that may not always seek attention, but truly changes lives. We are so proud to celebrate Aubrey today and offer space for her to speak.
Good morning, everyone. To start, I'd like to thank the association for choosing me for this award. And Head Start is where I made my very first friendships, and I believe that it really prepared me for school. I went into kindergarten more confident because of everything I learned in this program. And I'm just thankful I got the opportunity to be a part of the program that leaves such a big impact on families, friends, and community. And I just want to thank you again for choosing me to be this year's recipient.
Thank you, Aubrey. And who's with you?
I have my mom, and then her class is also with us today.
Thank you. I don't know if they have their camera on. Can they see us?
They do. Yeah. Let me see if they're.
They should unmute so they can say hi.
Miss Jolene, can you say hi?
There we go. Hello. Hi.
Hi, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move forward, we want to take a moment to recognize the University of Pittsburgh School of Education for their generous support of this award. Their contribution helps make the financial support behind this recognition possible, but even more than that, it reflects their belief in Head Start, their commitment to early learning, and their investment in the future of children, families, and emerging leaders across Pennsylvania. We are grateful for their partnership and for the meaningful way they contribute to support this work. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Robert Gallen to share a few words about the importance of this award and the work it represents.
Thank you, Brandy. Can you hear me okay? Yeah.
Good.
All right. Hi, everyone. Congratulations, Aubrey. That is awesome. And the best part of my day was seeing those kids in the classroom. What an amazing thing. So I'm Robert Gallen. I'm a professor at University of Pittsburgh in the School of Education, where I coordinate our programs in infant mental health. I'm thrilled that University of Pittsburgh has taken on some mission projects, including supporting training and education in infant and early childhood mental health. We are announcing a new certificate online at University of Pittsburgh. I'm going to take a few minutes just to talk to you about that here. Brandy, are you doing the slides? We can go to the next one. So, as you may or may not know, University of Pittsburgh actually hosts a early Head Start program, Family Foundation's Early Head Start at the University of Pittsburgh, who were actually critical in the development of the Pennsylvania Association for Infant Mental Health. Before there was a PA-AIM, Early Head Start supported and created infant mental health training and opportunities. And as we were building our first certificate program, way back when Early Head Start reached out and wanted to be a part of infant mental health training across the state. So really, PA-AIM owns a lot of its birth to Early Head Start in terms of thinking and practice and all that. So there's a long history at University of Pittsburgh of working in the early childhood space and with Head Start in particular. At the University of Pittsburgh, we have been involved in training and educating well over 1,000 practitioners in our Foundations of Infant Mental Health online course. That was a continuing education course, and we're proud. We just have 100 more coming next year. We've been really involved in trying to be connected with PA-AIM and the state and various projects to promote knowledge, education, and practice in the early childhood space, taking an infant and early childhood mental health approach. Go on to the next. We recognized we did a bit of market analysis. I've been pushing the university a little bit to, hey, can we do more in this space? And they did a market analysis and found there's nobody else doing this in our region. You have to go to Chicago or Minnesota or California to really get credit-bearing training in infant and early childhood mental health. We've had over 1,000 people in Pennsylvania, early intervention, home visiting, Head Start. We asked those folks who took the introductory course online, would you be interested in a certificate or credit-bearing courses at the master's level? And 1/3 said yes. So given that history of 20 years of training in these spaces and working with this workforce, Pitt decided to move forward with a new certificate program in infant mental health. Go on to the next slide. So really to go over a lot of information here, what we're launching this fall, and there'll be more the following fall, is a fully online 12 credit certificate in infant mental health. It's asynchronous. It takes 2 terms. You take one class at a time. So 7 weeks in one class, 7 weeks in the next class, and you do that all, through fall and spring. Pitt has reduced the cost, price point per credit by 29%. Looking nationally, what do programs like this cost? They were allowed us to. This is rare, and I'm very excited that they see this as a mission driven cost decision. This will be taught by me, other faculty at Pitt, but also by community providers. We're going to partner with Early Head Start at University of Pittsburgh and our Western Psych and different practitioners. And again, the curriculum's 4 courses, an evidence-based practice in infant and early childhood mental health. And the program does align with infant mental health endorsement, and Pennsylvania is an endorsement state. I'm happy to talk to anyone about that. Go to the next slide here real quick. What you'll learn if and I'm happy to talk to anyone. There'll be slides to connect to that, but what we are going to talk about in this certificate are the foundations of infant mental health. That includes attachment theory, relationship focused practice. The how do we work with dyads to promote attachment security, reflective practice and supervision, assessment and observation of dyads, what to look for, what to promote, and of course, family-based and strength-based approaches, I think that are all aligned with the mission of infant and early childhood programs. So, yeah, thank you. The idea, we already have data on this from the online non-credit bearing class where people are reporting higher quality practice. Staff who have done this training, they report that they have more tools to use. They're looking through a different lens. Plus, we're aligned with endorsement, and there's research coming out that shows that endorsed practitioners in the infant and early childhood mental health space are providing enhanced, higher quality services. Families finding it more helpful. Children are showing benefits. In terms of what else does this mean for your program? Program credibility, graduate. These are if people who complete the program will have graduate level credential essentially in infant and early childhood mental health, strengthening their sort of academic skills, but also their practice-based skills, and also receiving acknowledgement for the work that you put into building that skill set. There's been, of course, in the field of infant or childhood mental health, when you see endorsement and training, reflective supervision, all these things, you see better staff retention as we professionalize the field and acknowledge the fact that we are doing really specialized work. And also, one of our aims is to strengthen the workforce pipeline. In our market analysis, we found there's not enough of us doing this work, so we want to build capacity for people to learn how to work in this field effectively, efficiently, from an evidence-based approach, and step right into the workforce in meaningful and effective ways. Go on to the next slide. What we're here to present to you is just let you guys know we're doing this. I think we're going to do another presentation on maybe with a little more depth, but if you are able to, or if you're interested, if you can, sharing this program, what we're trying to do here with your staff and partners, any information you can share, point them in our direction. People who are seeking more training, people who have been in the field and want to, sort of certify the work they've been doing, or to enhance that or move to the next level. To discuss this, integrate it into professional development conversations. This is an opportunity. Our online course, the Foundations, that's non-credit bearing, has Act 48, PQuas, and nursing continuing education credits, 45 credits. It's a pretty good deal. But those folks who want to start, turning professional development into master's level credits, and a certificate that might be the next step in a professional development and enhancing and moving up in a career. And connect us with the right people. Introduce us to folks. Let the people know your Head Start, early Head Start program coordinators, directors who can bridge, who might have staff who are interested, might be interested themselves. We're also interested in partnerships. If anybody has ideas, like, hey, we really need to enhance this in the field. We are working directly with state partners and others to ensure that this program is meeting the needs of the workforce. To the next there. So next steps for if you might be interested, right? Applications are open. Courses are starting in August. You can learn more at education.pitt.edu or talk with us. Schedule a brief conversation with myself or with our staff. That's me, Dr. Robert Gallen, Gallen at pitt.edu, or look at us at online at pitt.edu. I think I do have one more. And I think we're going to be doing another presentation May 22nd at 9 a.m. Here's a QR code. You can scan that and get more information there. And again, feel free to reach out. Thank you. And thank you, Brandy, and everyone for this opportunity. It looks like Greg put something in there for us. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Gallen, and thank you to the University of Pittsburgh School of Education for sponsoring the scholarship this year. I think it's very fitting. Dr. Shipman is in higher education as well, and so as the honor of the unsung hero is thanking Mike for his time on the board. It's a kind of came full circle there. Congratulations to Aubrey. We're so thrilled that we get to celebrate your Head Start experience and support you as you go into higher education. It's been a wonderful morning of successes and understanding the association, where we've been and where we intend to go this year. I thank our board chair, Deirdre, for being part of the conversation and helping us to best relay who we are and what we've been doing in partnership with our members. But we'll take a moment to walk through 2025 just as an overview. It's pretty amazing what has been accomplished, the successes, the real challenges, and the constant renewal that we've relied on one another for. So, as a reminder for some of us who were gathering together in DC in January of 2025, we were really caught off guard by a funding freeze and followed by months and challenges, drawdowns of our appropriated funds. And yet, among all of that, Head Start showed their persistence, their perseverance. We showed up, we conducted Hill visits the day after the funding freeze, we called our legislators and senators, and we engaged in virtual and in-person learning. As we moved into February, we gathered, we relied on one another. We continued to look to one another as membership and as partners here in Pennsylvania of how we can be strong together and lift up our voices. In March, Head Start, it was noted, was to be eliminated from the federal budget. But the Friends of Head Start nationally at state programs, parents, staff, Pennsylvania collaborative partners, and many more accepted this unacceptable challenge in our 60th year. Through many efforts, sign-ons, rallies, gained media, reporting, op-eds, the elimination threat of Head Start was thwarted. We all showed up in PA to participate in pilot learning programs, learn about AI, celebrate a dear friend, and initiate a new Head Start alumni scholarship. Many added their voice to the Head Start Voices storyboard. And so in the backdrop of a lot of crazy things happening, Head Start kept doing the work that they do. We showed the same resilience, was our go-to approach on April 1st when 5 of the 10 regional offices were eliminated immediately. Over 50% of our trusted colleagues lost their jobs. But Head Start kept Head Starting. Through thoughtful debate and ultimately the board of directors of the association joined litigation to prevent the dismantling of Head Start, rescinded the rescinding of the DEIA ban, and prevent further rifts in the Office of Head Start staff.
We celebrated 60 years of Head Start with the expectation that we will serve families and children for another 60 years. Head Start is not a program. Head Start is a promise. We acted to save Head Start by using social media campaigns, adding our voices, and to refute the efforts to axe Head Start. A statewide survey published in May demonstrated PA voters supported Head Start. Celebrities joined the national call to save Head Start. Yet another executive order attempted to reinterpret long-standing statute to require Head Start, an education program, to verify immigration status. The litigants and their ACLU solicitors added to this affront to the filed complaint.
Head Start staff, the families, the communities, they all kept Head Starting. They attended conferences to grow professionally and advocated for their children, their families, their communities, and the programs that they value and that they believe in. We celebrated Head Start alumni, participated in the National Call-In Day on behalf of Head Start, and our coalition partners joined forces and advocated with and for us.
The summer was hot. Our state legislator failed to pass a state budget for 5 months. We met with state secretaries, faced a continuing state budget impasse with a new coalition of critical services to advocate and speak on behalf of human services agencies, their staff, and the families they serve. As the school year ramped up, we stared down an impending federal government shutdown with Hill visits just days before it happened. The judge in our litigation granted a preliminary injunction that prevented Head Start from being required to verify the immigration status of children and families. The state budget impasse continued. The federal government shutdown began on October 1st. We continued celebrating 60 years. We continue to welcome our legislators to our programs and classrooms, scheduled state capitol visits during a state budget impasse, and participated in press conferences. We thanked our legislators for a proclamation recognizing 60 years of Head Start. We supported programs to access state loans during the impasse and to navigate the double whammy from September to November during a state budget impasse coupled with a federal government shutdown.
We voted, we educated, we advocated, we welcomed, we celebrated, we learned, we persisted. We are Head Start. We thank you for being with us today and walking through with us all that Head Start does for children and their families in the community. We thank the University of Pittsburgh School of Education and Dr. Gallen for contributing to the Unsung Heroes Scholarship. We thank Mike for being a great board director and the opportunity to honor you and your contributions over 9 years. And we thank you to the Association Board of Directors for their continued leadership. Thank you to our membership for their trust in the association and the staff. And we look forward to connecting with each of you in this journey of 2026 and coming back next year about this time to look and see what we accomplished together. Thank you for being part of our annual meeting of 2026.